What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. I'm dying. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
All right, welcome back. Welcome in, everyone. Monday night, A2D Radio, Sports Hounds, rocking and rolling. Happy New Year, everyone. First show of the new year of 2024. We have a big college football show, national championship, Washington, Michigan. They're singing the national anthem now. They got the drum lines out. We got the NFL playoffs. We're going to examine what is wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles and can it be fixed. We had coaches fired today. We had a whole super wild card slate. We'll have predictions for the wild card weekend and the entire playoffs. We got Chase Robbins in the house filling in for Doug tonight. Doug might be along later. But we're going to get right into it. Our poll question tonight is the Michigan Wolverines will win the national championship. I have no feel for this game whatsoever. So, Chase, you're the guest tonight. What do you got? What do you got going on in this game?
I hate Michigan with everything, so I'm obviously gonna have Washington winning it. I just think their offense is too good for Michigan to stop.
So you got Washington.
Yeah, by a lot.
By a lot.
By a lot.
Now is this? I hope that the only bet I placed tonight is under 56. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I think Michigan has a good defense, and I think Washington. They have a pretty good defense, too. Washington has the better quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
but
I don't know. But
Washington
then the line's
also
5.5. That's a little
Washington was also not even in the top 100 in the country in stopping the run. I mean, I think Blake Corum and company are going to run the ball down their throats.
You think that would be the game plan? I love Blake Corum. I think he's so good. If I needed a running back on my NFL team, I would look no further than Blake Corum.
I'd tell you what, I would get rid of Barkley in a minute and get him and not have to be paying all that money for him.
Interesting. Really?
Tell me you would.
So,
would you really want to pay Barkley $10-15 million?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, but then you can draft him and then go out and sign a free agent offensive lineman who could actually block.
It's interesting. It's an interesting proposition, but no, like I don't understand these teams that don't pay their premier players and want to start over. The Bears are the prime example of it. Like everyone's saying, get rid of Justin Fields, get rid of Justin Fields.
That's ridiculous. I wouldn't.
So you can, but the reasoning, I get it. If you think Justin Fields stinks, like okay, get rid of him, but to get rid of him, a good player, because you don't want to pay him and you want.
I don't think you can leave like that successful of a team just to maybe not even be good in the NFL.
But he has had success in the NFL.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. It's a lot different now. You could see his offense. All they do is run the ball up the middle with Blake Corum, and he gets 5 yards every play.
San Francisco got to the Super Bowl with Kaepernick as their quarterback when he was coach, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, I think
they lost to the lost to the Ravens.
They lost to the Ravens when the lights went out.
It went the Harbaugh
Bowl.
They almost came back. I think it was like they were losing 20.
I'm picking Michigan in this game. I don't remember if I answered the poll or not. I'm picking Michigan in this game. Kind of a down year for college football. There was no really clear-cut team. I think you could have Alabama being it kind of ruined it for me because Alabama wasn't that great. They beat South Florida only 10-3, and they needed a miracle to beat Auburn, who got routed at home by New Mexico. And I think if they played that SEC championship 100 times, I think Georgia wins 99 of them. And unfortunately for Georgia, the only one that Alabama won was the one that counted.
I wouldn't say 99. I'd say like 75.
A lot, though, right?
Yeah, like
75?
70%.
I don't know. I think it's more. I think it's more than that. And I'm surprised that Washington beat Texas. I thought Texas was a very good football team. I'm not saying Washington isn't. They clearly earned it. But I think Texas got off to a horrendous start in that. What was it, Chase? The Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, Sugar Bowl.
The Sugar Bowl. And they barely held them off at the end. If Quinn Ewers stays, I think Texas is going to be a major player in the SEC next year, which sounds weird to say. We got the conference realignment coming. We got the Pac-12 is basically done. So, I don't know. Should be interesting. What do you think about all this?
Washington's going to be in the Big Ten next year, right?
Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA are all moving to the Big Ten. And they're not. What do you think about all this realignment, Chase?
I hate it. Like Maryland's going to have to go all the way to Oregon next year to play college football game, come all the way back, and play another game all the way back in Maryland. Like, I just hate it. And I'd rather the Big Ten be the Midwest and then a few teams on the shore and then Penn State rather than having most of the teams on the one side and then 4 teams all the way in California, Oregon, and Washington. I just don't like it.
Well, at least the West will have some teams that aren't Michigan, that aren't Wisconsin or Iowa, because that was ridiculous.
Well, I know the
Iowa
SEC
stinks.
I know the new look SEC isn't going to have divisions. So I don't know what the Big Ten is going to do in terms of the divisions.
I don't think there's divisions.
So then you're just going to have.
How do they determine the schedule then?
No, they have the schedule out.
Yeah, the schedule's out for next year.
I don't think we play Ohio State or Michigan, which normally we would do every year.
Right, being in the East.
Yeah, which takes 2 losses off a record for next year.
I could say the same thing, Rob.
What, for Rutgers?
Yeah. That's 2 guaranteed. That would be 2 guaranteed losses we don't have to worry about. I was surprised they beat Miami. I really was. I didn't think they would beat Miami.
I knew we were going to crush Auburn.
Auburn wasn't good. The SEC wasn't that great this year. It was a very down year. Very down year for college football.
I've been saying Big Ten's best conference in NCAA.
Yeah?
Yep.
I guess.
Well, one thing you have to remember, they especially with the game tonight, they have not faced, and we're talking about Michigan now, they have not faced a team even close to being as good as
oh yeah, I hate Michigan.
As Washington, as far as a quarterback who can sling it. I mean, Penix is really good. I've been a big fan of his since he was on Indiana.
Yeah, I loved him at Indiana.
Yeah, you remember the Penn State game?
Yeah, the Penn State, the dive.
Yeah. I mean that drive that he had to win that game, that was unbelievable. And then that 2-pointer that he made, he ran around the end. I mean, he was phenomenal back then. I'm not surprised he's turned out like this.
I thought he should have won the Heisman. Penix.
Yeah, Penix should have won the Heisman.
They're very strange that they gave it to Jaden Daniels like that.
Like, he had better stats, but his team was 9-3.
Yeah, they lost every big game, just like Brian Kelly always does. He loses every big game he plays in.
Well,
there's something to be said about being undefeated. I mean, when was the last time we had 2 undefeated teams in the finals, by the way, guys?
Not last year. I couldn't think. Maybe Clemson.
Well, Brad, clearly it's not that important because Florida State went undefeated and didn't even make the playoff. So it's not that important.
Well, they deserved it, but I'd rather they not make it. Because do you want a team like Alabama competing with everybody, or a team like Florida State losing by 20 to everybody?
Yeah, but do you think? I think Florida State was the best. If Jordan Travis didn't get hurt, I think Florida State's playing football tonight.
Yeah, if Jordan Travis didn't get hurt, but he did.
Well, that's why they didn't. They punished Florida State because he got hurt.
But the committee didn't take into any factor that Florida State beat Louisville, a team that averaged 30 points, with not their second string quarterback, but their third string quarterback.
First.
I think Florida State's playing tonight, even if they had their second string quarterback against Michigan.
Rodemaker could not bring them to the championship.
Let's get to some comments here. Wahoo 56, that's your boy, right?
Yep.
He likes Michigan. Emerson, let's go Michigan. DJ Terps, he likes Washington.
That was me. I was trying to get my friends to stop saying.
Yeah, good job. Brian Daly, Brad, you'll have a lot of material for your hockey happy hour show tomorrow. Flyers made a massive trade tonight.
Brian, you can't like that trade. I'm sorry. You can't give up Jamie Drysdale. No way. That's a terrible trade.
Jamie Drysdale coming to Philly, second-round pick, and Cutter Gaither. I say that right?
Gauthier. He's the isn't he the guy from BC? I believe he's the guy on BC. He's their top prospect. I'm sorry.
All right, so Brad, why don't you give us a synopsis of the kind of player that the Flyers just got in this trade? A lot of people are really excited about it on Twitter.
Jamie Drysdale is a terrific young defenseman. He can score. He's like Adam Fox. Okay, he's not quite there yet as far as Adam Fox, but he's very similar to Adam Fox, and he's better defensively than Adam Fox. He's got a lot of potential. I always have liked him. I mean, I was kind of shocked to see that they got him. That's a real good trade. I mean, listen, Gauthier is lighting it up in college, and I'm a little surprised the Flyers would trade him, but I guess they're thinking that they're going to get Michkov soon enough, and they're not going to have to worry about it. So
yeah, and the Flyers are also way ahead on their rebuild.
They are. Well,
I've been saying from their plan and going for it a little bit.
I've been saying on the Hockey Happy Hour they should be trying to trade to improve the team now. I mean, you never know what's going to happen next year. You never know who's going to be healthy and who's going to be hurt, and what's going to happen. So if you're good, bring in guys. As long as you're bringing in young players and you're not bringing in 30-year-old players, it's a good move. That's a really good move. I like Jamie Drysdale.
Pete Evans is in the house. So plenty of material on Birds of a Feather. That's tomorrow night as well. Eagles-Bucks, Monday night, right in our slot. Pete chiming in on the Justin Fields debate. We had a little earlier. Keep Fields, trade the first overall pick for a ransom. I completely agree, Pete. I mean,
that would be a smart move for the Bears. The Bears need bodies.
Let's put my man crush on Justin Fields to the side for a while, because I've had a man crush on him ever since he dropped to 11th in the draft. But I don't understand. You don't have to pay him this offseason. You can wait. You can make him prove it. You may cost yourself, a couple $1 million on your cap, because I think he's going to do well next year, and the Bears are going to do well next year. But why not just keep the first overall pick, draft Marvin Harrison Jr., then you have Kmet, you have Marvin Harrison, and you have DJ Moore for Justin Fields to just develop as a passer. I don't get it. Damian Hernandez, Bears can't develop QBs. Trading Fields for a QB would set us back another 4 decades or so. We need Marvin Harrison Jr. and not a QB, especially not from USC. Yeah, Chase, I'm pretty against the Caleb Williams movement here in terms of the draft. I don't think Caleb Williams is
touchdown.
I think he's a weirdo. There you go. Michigan's on the board. Just can't have too many of those. Can't have too many of those tutties, baby. We need the under 56. But I mean, if you think you're upgrading your team by trading Justin Fields and taking Caleb Williams, I think you're out of your mind. I really do.
You're not upgrading your team doing that.
Douglas Robbins, no divisions in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I kind of love
think
Michigan this game, by the way, guys.
That's 8 plays, 84 yards in 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Michigan's tough. They're tough up front. They run the ball.
Yeah, I just don't know how Washington physically is overmatched. I mean, I just don't know how they can get around that.
Well, their offensive line is good, so they should be okay on offense.
Yeah, but Michigan's offensive line is really, really good, and they run the ball really well. And Washington is not good against the run.
Rob Povia, what's up, fellas? Harbaugh gets it done. I think he does. And I think he stays at Michigan. I agree with Chase.
I think he's leaving. I think he might get.
Where do you think he's going to go, Brad?
I think he's got sanctions coming, and he's going to leave. I think he's going to the Chargers.
He's going to pull a Pete Carroll and go to the Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
That would be the logical – that's got to be the most attractive
Oh, God,
coaching.
Yeah. You've got a real big time quarterback, and you've got a bunch of really good players. The biggest problem with that team is the owner, Spanos. He's just such a tightwad. That's kind of the problem with them. But you know what? Maybe if he's willing to spend money on a coach, that would be the guy to do it.
I mean, I don't like their defense either. That could also be a problem.
San Diego. Oh, San Diego. The Chargers have players, though. They've got talented players on defense.
Yeah, they have Derwin James, Joey Bosa. Like, other than that, I don't really.
Khalil Mack. They got Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, they got some defensive players. They need a coach they need a good coach, a coach that they didn't have last year. He was horrible. I couldn't believe that they didn't fire him the year before.
Do you think Belichick's a fit with the Chargers?
No.
I don't know if Belichick wants to keep coaching anymore.
Belichick's not a good coach. If he didn't have Brady, he wouldn't have a job right now.
I love this kid. I love this kid, man. Chase Rod. He sounds like me. He's a young Rob Brinkman.
That's a little strong.
I mean, what's his record without Tom Brady? Below 500.
That's true.
Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without him. Belichick didn't win a Super Bowl without him.
Nothing. And he doesn't want to. He wants to be a dinosaur and not change, and just ignore offense and skill players. And this is what you get. You're 4-13, and you're about to get fired. I think it's definitely time to move. I wouldn't hire Bill Belichick at all. I really wouldn't.
Well, if he's just going to coach from what I've heard, is he'll stay in New England if they want him, as long as New England gets to pick the players and not him.
I mean, good luck with that. The guy's like stubborn grump.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's going to fly. Willie Vegas is in the house. He has Washington plus 5.5 and money line. Definitely value plays. I don't know. I just saw it when the bracket came out. Like, Bama wasn't Bama. Washington and Texas. Everything just set up well for Michigan. So I think they get it done tonight. Don 19. A home playoff game in Detroit for Don 19. Probably the most interesting game on the slate. The Rams and the Lions. Stafford
I'll tell you
going
what,
back.
watch out for the Rams right now. They are absolutely on fire. You know, the 49ers' worst nightmare is to have to play them in their first playoff game. You know that. They don't want to play them.
I mean,
the Rams always give them trouble.
I don't think the Rams are that good, though. Yeah, they're hot, but
they almost beat. Listen, they had the Ravens, and then the Ravens ended up getting a punt return for a touchdown in overtime. That's the only game they've lost in the last 6-7 weeks.
Steelers beat the Ravens, so they should be going to the second round.
They have to play Buffalo.
True.
Buffalo's way better than Detroit.
Yeah.
I haven't bought into Detroit all season. We'll see. Let's see. Damian Hernandez, question, say if Michigan wins, keep Harbaugh when Big Ten is going to keep putting up a target on him every season. It's going to be interesting. Is he gonna deal with the sanctions and the punishments that he's got coming to him, or is he going to go to the Chargers? He's going to get to pick his job.
Well, if you were him,
he's gonna.
Rob, if you were him, who would you pick? I mean, you're going to pick the Commanders?
Patriots?
Patriots? No.
Unless
you want to pick
the
quarterback.
The Falcons. I mean,
they're kind of intriguing, but
you just need to find a quarterback. You have Bijan, you have.
They're an intriguing kind of team, but
Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Chris Lindstrom. You have lots of guys that you could lose.
Yeah, they
I like Atlanta. I think if Atlanta had a quarterback, they're playing on Monday night against the Eagles and not the Bucs. But I mean, and then you have Herbert.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. You
I mean, if he can do this,
but does Herbert?
Does Herbert what?
Want to be there? Or would you think?
Herbert already
they gave him $250 million to be their quarterback. So
Herbert has no choice. He's
if someone gave me $250 million to be anywhere, I would want to be there. That's just me, though.
I mean,
everybody loves playing in California. Everybody loves playing in California. The weather's always nice. They can play golf all the time. Are you kidding?
They had a nice stadium, dome.
Yep.
Well,
not that hard.
If you want rings, would you rather be on the Chargers or go and let some big team give you big money?
What team were we talking about?
Just a team looking for a quarterback. Pittsburgh, Atlanta, any team.
I mean, I hear you, Chase, but he already signed. He signed up with.
No.
Chargers.
I know he signed. I'm just saying, if you're him, would you want to be there?
I guess. I mean, no. I mean, the Chargers, they always kind of have even when they have LaDainian Tomlinson and Marty Schottenheimer and Drew Brees and all those good players, Phillip Rivers, they always kind of found a way to choke. Some teams just have a propensity for that. Chargers are one of them.
Do you realize the quarterbacks that they've had in the last 25 years?
It's been Rivers for like 15
I mean,
Brees, Rivers, Herbert.
Right, and before Brees, I mean, a few years before Brees, it was Fouts.
Ryan Leaf.
Well, he was bad, but I mean, you take a look at some of their quarterbacks ever since the 70s. I mean, you had Dan Fouts. I mean, they've been very fortunate with the quarterbacks they've had,
and they have nothing. They had nothing to show for it.
No. And the year they went to the Super Bowl, who was their quarterback? Chris Miller? No, that was the Falcons. Who was their quarterback the year they went to the Super Bowl?
Did they have Fouts in '94? They got smoked by San Francisco. That wasn't.
Did they have Fouts still?
I think it might have been his last year.
Okay.
Harbaugh to the Panthers would make more sense.
Why would you want to go to the Panthers?
No, he's not going to go to the Panthers.
That David Tepper, man, he's a train wreck.
Why would you want to go there?
Exactly.
They picked the wrong guy. They traded all their players to pick the wrong guy. They have an owner who's a kook. She got fined $300,000 for pouring a drink on somebody.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not going. He's not going to the Panthers.
I mean, 300 G's for dumping a drink on someone. That's a little steep, but I mean, you can't be dumping drinks on people when you're the owner.
Setting a terrible example.
So this guy Tepper, he's like a hedge fund guy. He worked at J.P. Morgan Chase. This is how much of a J.O. this guy is. So he got passed over for a promotion at J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yeah.
So he quit and went and did his own thing and made a bunch of money, and I guess eventually bought the Panthers. First thing he did when he made it big was bought his boss, the boss that passed him over. He bought his house and bulldozed it to the ground out of spite. Like, whew. I mean, come on. I mean, talk about FU money. I respect that, but I mean,
that's a little little anger management class over there.
Why would you want?
And like, because he's an idiot, Chase. And I was reading about him online about his like investment strategies, and like he made all of his money by being like patient, and he fires his coach every year when he's the owner of a NFL team. It makes no sense. I would not.
How many coaches have they had in the last 5 years? What, 4?
I think they're gonna be paying 3 coaches next year.
Matt Rule was there for like 3 years or 2 years.
Yeah, Frank Reich, who's actually a good coach in my opinion. I hope he comes to Philadelphia as some type of offensive coach, maybe even a head coach. We'll know. I don't know, but he didn't even give him the whole season.
Do you think Sirianni is in trouble?
I feel like they'll keep him.
I think the clock might be starting on him.
Well, Brad, because here's the thing with Nick Sirianni. It's tough when you don't call plays on offense or defense and you lose your locker room, which I think it's very possible that Nick has lost his locker room. So if you don't have the player support and you don't call plays on offense or defense, what on God's green earth are you actually doing? So, I mean, we're going to see what happens on Monday night. Next Monday night, they're going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they have a chance. Tampa's not that good. The Eagles aren't playing that good, but I think they have way more talent than Tampa Bay. But if this wild card game on Monday Night Football next week gets away from Nick Sirianni and the Eagles, I don't know. I don't know if Nick Sirianni makes it through. I wouldn't fire him because I don't want to be like the Carolina Panthers and David Tepper and always be changing coaches because that's the sign of a bad franchise.
Ooh.
But, man, if next Monday night's ugly, it's tough to justify him. Hold on. One more thought. It's tough to justify him being the head coach of the football team. And every time the Eagles don't meet expectations under Jeffrey Lurie, heads roll. Jeffrey Lurie is an owner, whether you like it or don't like it. He holds the people in charge accountable. And when expectations aren't met, heads roll. Go ahead, Brad.
Do you think that Sirianni could stay, but Howie Roseman will clean house with the assistant coaches and get him a new staff?
See, now, I don't like this. If I'm going to hire someone and pay a guy a bunch of money, okay, Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman picks the players. He should not be picking Nick Sirianni's staff. Nick Sirianni should pick his staff. That's how it should work, in my opinion. So if you don't trust the guy to pick his staff and make good decisions like that, and he doesn't call plays on either side of the football, and the players don't like him, and he lost the locker room, then what's the point? What's the point of having?
Okay,
just have Howie Roseman coach the team.
Here's another question for you. Okay, these coaches that the Eagles have right now, like Desai and Patricia and all these other guys. Okay, who picked them?
And nobody really knows. Yeah, nobody really knows.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm just wondering about, because if it was Howie that picked them and they're not doing the job, then and Sirianni is Howie's guy, maybe that's what I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deal is there.
Ryan Johnson was an inside hire. So they just kicked him up when Steichen went to the Colts. He's terrible, but that's what happened. Inside hire, they kept it in-house, whatever. It's not working. If you look at Brian Johnson's resume, he doesn't have the resume to be a play caller or decision maker on a team that's primed for a Super Bowl run. He just doesn't. He's not qualified. Sorry. I don't care that he's Jalen Hurts' best friend from high school. He's not qualified. Now they passed over, I forget the guy's name, but on defense, the inside hire that was the equivalent to Brian Johnson, they let him walk. They didn't give him the job, and he left. So Desai came from the outside, and obviously Patricia came from the outside. Who made those decisions? I don't know. But I guess if it wasn't Nick Sirianni, Brad, can I be mad at Nick Sirianni that the defense stinks?
Well, yeah, but Sirianni still calls the defenses, right? Or he's supposed to.
Sirianni is an offensive coach.
Okay. Well,
and Sirianni does not call the offensive plays in Philadelphia. Brian Johnson does. He's the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Chase, what's the dynamic in Pittsburgh? Who calls your offensive plays? Who calls your defensive plays? What is Mike Tomlin responsible for?
I don't even know what Tomlin does. He doesn't call offense or defense. Actually, no. I think he might call defense. But since we fired Canada, it's been our running back coach as our calling our offensive plays, which has worked out better. But still, it's not as good. We're at least moving the ball a lot more. And then defense, I think it's actually Tomlin calling the plays.
Yeah, Brad, I mean, there's Don. Did you enjoy the win over the Eagles? You finally got one. Took you 10 years.
Oh, of course I enjoyed it. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it took you 10 years to finally beat our squad, but you got us, and you got us good.
Yes, we did. And just think if our field goal kicker actually could kick, it would have been 30-10 instead of 20-6.
Now, what I don't understand on defense is you have Hassan Reddick, who gets 10 sacks every year. Chase, the only two players in the whole NFL that's had double-digit sacks each of the last 4 years are Hassan Reddick and your boy TJ Watt. Now, Chase, how often does TJ Watt drop into coverage for the Steelers defense?
Often.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like 10 passes defended this year. And he's got an interception.
Is that – wow, okay. So he's just a freak.
Yeah. Should get Defensive Player of the Year.
Hassan Reddick, even though he's in that club with TJ Watt, he shouldn't be dropping into coverage at all. He's not good at it. There's Damian Hernandez, and I was getting to that point. 3 years, $19 million for TJ Edwards looks pretty cheap right now. TJ Edwards I think he made the Pro Bowl for the Bears this year. He had over 100 tackles. He had a couple picks,
a
couple forced fumbles.
I think
3 years, $19 million.
It was Jalen Johnson and someone else.
For the Bears?
Yeah, for the Bears.
And then Sirianni was the wide receivers coach in KC when Andy was hired, and they ran him out.
Well, I got a defensive coordinator for you, Rob. Would you take Wink Martindale?
Well, he resigned today as the Giants.
Yes, he did. He's gone.
Is that
you knew that?
Does he stink? What's the deal there? Because I know you like Wink Martindale.
I do like Wink Martindale. I just don't think that they have the right players for his system. He likes to blitz, and really the only linebacker that's really effective at doing that was Okereke all season. The rest of them weren't really they didn't get a lot of pressures. So I don't know. I just think Dexter Lawrence only had 4.5 sacks, which he should have had more. Thibodeau had a good year, but I mean they had only 30. I think they had 32 sacks this year. I mean that's not you got to do better than that, especially when you're blitzing all the time.
Well, they were certainly getting home yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles. They broke Jalen Hurts' thumb or middle finger, whatever he did. It was bending sideways. I think Jalen Hurts needs knee surgery. I think he's injured in that sense. And now he's got a busted hand, busted finger. Stuff is no bueno in Eagle Land, and the fans are not happy. I'm kind of over it. Like, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win on Monday.
The way they've been playing, I tell you what, I wouldn't bet my hard-earned money on that.
I already did. I already did.
Okay.
I
well, I mean, I
didn't want.
I wish you luck, but boy,
I didn't want it to get up to 3, so I did it today.
Okay. Well,
maybe I did it. Maybe I thought about it. I forget what I did. But
they
have to beat the Bucs. They can't lose every game, can they, Chase?
No.
Sure, they could. They
got to win
what,
one eventually, right?
Yeah, they got to win one.
You would think. Listen, do you remember the Jets when it happened to the Jets in '86 when they were 10-1 and then they finished 10-6?
I was -3 years old.
Oh,
Chase
okay.
was -1 million years old.
Okay, well that
We don't
particular year the Jets were 10-1, and then like everybody got hurt and they ended up 10-6, and they won their first playoff game and then they got eliminated in the division series.
I mean, nobody really for the Eagles got injured until week 18.
And we'll have to see how serious some of these injuries are.
Well, I think Fletcher Cox and Darius Slay could have played yesterday if it meant anything. And then you have A.J. Brown has a knee sprain now, avoided an ACL tear, according to Twitter. Devontae Smith was held out of the game. There's a field goal for Washington, 7-3 Michigan.
Barely.
3 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first quarter. 10 total points. We're doing not bad on this under here. But Devontae Smith has a mild ankle sprain. I expect him to be active.
He'll play.
On Monday. DeAndre Swift was.
How effective are these guys going to be? DeAndre Swift was sick. He'll be okay by then, unless he's got COVID.
Is that still a thing, COVID?
Yeah.
No.
Still a thing, COVID? But I mean, they're gonna win on Monday. They're good. They're better than the Bucs. They're more talented than the Bucs. I know they're more talented than the Giants. I know they're more talented than the Arizona Cardinals, and they're more talented than the Seattle Seahawks.
They're more talented than the Giants too, Rob. But
it didn't work. I get it. But there's a lot of veterans here. Like, is Jason Kelce really going to have his Eagles career end? Like, on a 50-degree Monday night in Tampa Bay after what transpired in Philadelphia under his watch as a leader? Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson. Like, they're really going out like this? I don't believe it.
Are they gonna wake up?
Well, if there was ever a time, like,
you would think they would.
It would be now.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, listen, I could definitely see them not getting winning in Tampa Bay, but if they have to play Dallas in Dallas or San Francisco in San Francisco, I think that's where it ends.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, but
that's what I think. I think the division round is going to be San Francisco and Los Angeles and Eagles and Dallas. And the only thing I'll say about that matchup from an Eagles standpoint is if they're able to pull it together and put a hurting on Tampa Bay like they should, like, momentum's a funny thing in pro sports.
Yeah, but it's Tampa Bay, and the way Dallas.
That's all I got. That's all I got. And then
you and I.
That's all I got from that glass half full mentality with this football team.
I know, but listen, Dallas has been really good at home, but we also know that they have a habit of not winning big games at home in the playoffs too. So, which is it going to be with Dallas? I do think that they win their. I think they win their first game. I mean, that they should. Who are they playing? Who are they playing the first game?
Dallas is playing Green Bay.
Green Bay in Dallas.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest blowout of the weekend.
Yeah, I think Dallas smokes them. The Rams. I could see the Rams going into Detroit and winning. I could see that because the Rams are a veteran group, and I question if Detroit has the experience to go in there. And I mean, listen, Detroit could win. Obviously, Goff has been in big games before. It's not like he's never played in a big game. So at least your quarterback's been there. We'll see. Love their coach.
Campbell, yeah, it's unfortunately got cheated. The most rigged football game I've seen.
Oh, that was borderline criminal.
There's videos of him reporting eligible.
He went over. It's right on tape. He went over to the video to the ref and reported eligible.
Right. Right. And the referee's going to claim that he didn't hear him, which is a crock of it's a bunch of malarkey.
Chase, man, you got more fans. You got more fans than me. I've been doing this for 10 years.
It's all my friends hang out.
Good job.
Ron Rivera's out in Washington was a shocker to me, in my opinion.
No, that's not a shocker.
Oh,
that's not a shocker. That's not a shocker at all.
I can't believe he lasted the whole season.
Yeah, that's more of a shocker.
Who has the second pick in the draft? Is it Washington?
Commanders.
So they're gonna promote Bieniemy, and they're gonna take Caleb Williams. Right?
They're either trading up to get Maul.
What about Penix?
I can't see them taking a quarterback.
I would take Penix before I take Williams.
I could see them trading back for Joe Alt.
Is that the Notre Dame lineman?
Yeah, Notre Dame.
And he's good?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere without a quarter. They actually have good players in Washington.
Yeah, but I feel like Washington would not take a quarterback.
I don't know why that would be the case. I mean, you have receivers, you have running backs.
I mean, they should take a quarterback.
A lot of people hollering about them. Check out the Hockey Happy Hour tomorrow for all the big trade the Flyers just made. Danny Briere and Keith Jones doing their thing. Damian Hernandez, the Eagles should have hired Vic Fangio over the side. The Eagles should have hired Jesse Minter, who is Michigan's defensive coordinator, over Sean Desai. Vic Fangio, that doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, Don 19. Everyone's picking against your Lions. First home game.
Lions are winning.
Chase has got the Lions. Chase has got your back, Don. I mean, this is the first home.
I mean, I would love to see the Lions win. I don't think there's anybody who wouldn't like to see the Lions win a playoff game. I mean, they've been down for so long. They've got to be a sentimental thing for everybody.
Did they even win one with touchdown? But they even win one with Stafford?
No.
What was
They only went to the playoffs once, I think.
Was it Barry Sanders in like '96 the last time they won it?
Well, Chase, when I was a little kid like you, the Lions came into the Vet. It was Veterans Stadium. They didn't have Lincoln Financial Field. And the Eagle, I think it was 95.
Was that the snow game?
I think it was cold. I don't remember if it was snowing.
No, I don't think it was a snow game.
What was the game that they played the Lions when there was like a
that was regular season. That's when
that was regular season, like 2000s.
But 95, I remember the Lions were in the playoffs. They came into Philadelphia, and I think it was Reggie White's last year. Might have been Reggie White's last season. And the Eagles just destroyed the Lions. They destroyed them. Rodney Peete was the quarterback for the Lions, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
I
remember they lost 5-0 to the Cowboys in '72.
It was
Greg Landry was the quarterback back then.
It was they won one with Barry Sanders. That's all I remember. And then I think they had like a bye. And then I think they had a bye. And then they got crushed by the Cowboys in the conference championship.
Did they win one with Billy?
In 2016, they lost to the Seahawks. 2014, they lost to the Cowboys. 2011, they lost to the Saints. 1999, they lost to the then Redskins. 1997, they lost to the Buccaneers. 1995, that's when they lost to the Eagles. 1994, they lost to the Packers. 1993, they lost to the Packers.
92, yeah. Yeah, it was Dallas. They beat Dallas in 92.
January 5th, 1992, they found a playoff win against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
that they lost.
Yeah, and then they did make the conference championship and got blown out.
Who they play? San Francisco.
That's a Washington Super Bowl team, right, Brad?
That was the Broncos game. They beat them by a lot. I think that was Doug Williams.
But look at all this. 83, they lost. 1957, they won. That's pre-Super Bowl, though.
Right. Well, they still count.
That
was a long time ago,
though. That's brutal.
Yeah, they really have not gotten it. I mean, to lose in the first round that many times. I mean, my God, they make the Toronto Maple Leafs look like Stanley Cup champions every year with that kind of a record. Holy moly!
Make the Steelers look good.
Yeah, well, the Steelers were a legend back in the 70s and early 80s.
I mean, it's the best franchise in the NFL history.
Well, back then, maybe.
No, right now. 6 Super Bowls. Only tied with the Patriots.
Chase, how would you handicap? Yeah. What do you think of the Eagles right now?
I don't even know with them. I can't see them losing to the Bucs. But they're so bad right now. I don't even know if they can win.
Well, is Jalen Hurts good, or did we waste another $200 million on a quarterback that can't play?
Pretty much, he was on a super team, played well, and they're like, okay, you're a franchise quarterback, and then didn't play well second year, or not second year, second year.
This is his third season as a starter this year.
Yeah, third season as a starter.
Can you make the argument that Jalen Hurts is like Neil O'Donnell? He can drive the Volkswagen. He can drive the Cadillac, but he can't drive the Volkswagen.
We're gonna find out. I think we're gonna find out a lot about Jalen Hurts on Monday night.
Yeah. Also, honestly. Is it because he's all banged up? Maybe that's a problem too.
I don't think he's that banged up. I just think he's not that.
We don't know though. You see, you don't know. They hide the injuries. I mean, is he going to end up getting? Rob, you mentioned he might get knee surgery. I mean,
Yeah, I think he needs knee surgery. Yeah, I don't know when his knee injury occurred, but I think they're keeping it under wraps. I think he needs knee surgery.
I mean,
I think ever since he was running around all that in that Buffalo game at the Link in the rain, he ran quite a bit in that game. He hasn't been the same. And we need these receivers to do a scramble drill. When your quarterback rolls out, the receivers got to come back to the ball and make a move so your quarterback has somewhere to throw. They don't do that. Devontae Smith doesn't do it. A.J. Brown doesn't do it. Julio Jones doesn't do it. Is that another Michigan touchdown right there?
Down to the 15.
But so Chase, how do you see this game going for the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night? I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I think they have to beat the Buccaneers. I think they have to. I think it'll be a very low-scoring game, 17-13 or something. They'll start off 14-0 in the first quarter, and then they'll just slow down.
Well, a fast start would be welcomed. I haven't seen one of those in months. But Chase, I look at the Eagles, and they use all their first-round picks and all their salary cap on the defensive line, and I haven't seen a sack in weeks. Can they get pressure against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay offensive line?
The Tampa Bay line is good, though, so it's going to be harder, too. I mean, Tristan
they still have Mike Evans. Let's not forget him.
Tristan Wirfs, Ryan Jensen, it's pretty tough to get past the Buccaneers. If you couldn't get past the Cardinals, I don't know if you're getting past the Buccaneers.
Good point.
They were really bad against the Giants too, and some of the things I don't understand, Rob. Why are you playing some guys and not playing other guys? Why would you play Jalen Hurts in a game that you know damn well there's no way you're going to win the division?
Well, I mean, if you rest everyone and Dallas lays an egg, and you lose because everyone's
Rob,
hurt.
Dallas could lay 50 eggs and still beat the Commanders. The Commanders
Dallas lost in Washington last season.
I know, but this year I can't stand Dallas. So let's just make that perfectly clear. They seem like a different team to me this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but it really does seem like they are, especially at home. I mean, I know that they're on the road, but Washington, I saw my New York Giants, who are one of the worst teams offensively in the league, light that team up offensively. I mean, I should say the Giants offense, DeVito lit that team up. Okay, and we're talking about DeVito. DeVito's terrible. He's not terrible. He's
yes,
not.
He is, Brad.
He's not an NFL quarterback. I mean,
that means he's terrible.
Okay, I'll give you that. So
they can put his agent. They can put his agent on TV. That goofball. I'll watch him on TV all day long.
But listen, Tyrod isn't much better. And Tyrod picked the Eagles apart the other day. I don't understand what's going on with them on defense.
Trade up for
They're not good.
Trade up for a quarterback.
Who? The Eagles or the Giants?
Giants.
You like Drake May? I think Drake May stinks.
Oh no, I don't like Drake May. Patriots
trade up.
We got to get it. We got to fix our offensive line. That's
the
what
Patriots are gonna, for some reason, are gonna pick them.
Well, I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah on the NFL channel, and he said it was like a quarterback-rich draft. I don't see it. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, is Penix a pro prospect? Is Jaden Daniels a pro prospect?
Oh,
is Shadir Sanders coming out? Like,
Rob, I watch Penix, and you know who I think of? Vic.
If he doesn't get into trouble.
I don't.
Well, I don't listen. I don't know Michael Penix personally. I don't know anything about him, but I would think that he's not gonna, break the law and be reckless with his personal life. Yeah,
well,
you
he's
never know. But
nearly the athlete that Michael Vick was.
No,
Michael Vick was
unreal. But he's also a hell of a lot more accurate than Michael Vick ever was.
Fair.
And he's got a great arm, Rob. He really throws he has a nice long ball, and can he throw like Josh Allen? No, but he's got a really good arm though.
He reminds me of maybe a more mobile Jalen Hurts, I would say.
Damian Hernandez. Eagles beating Bucs on double teaming on Evans and then stopping the run. I hope.
Oh, they'll definitely double team Evans. I mean, that's everybody does.
Would hope Slay, we need Slay back.
They better not put Bradbury on him though, because I'll tell you what.
No, Bradbury should be on the bench. If Darius Slay's active, I'm going with Slay, and then I'll do Keely Ringo and Eli Ricks.
A couple of years ago, when
and Avonte Maddox in the slot.
When Daniel Jones played his first game against the Bucs, when he had a great game in his debut, okay, Bradbury guarded Evans. Evans had 8 catches in the first half, and then they took him off of Evans and they put somebody else on him, and they were able to shut him down. But he better not be the one guarding Mike Evans, because he can't do it.
Don 19, yeah, Don's sitting pretty from a football standpoint up there in Detroit. He's got Michigan rocking and rolling right now. He's got
Michigan has them right where they want him. They're gonna if Penix has to throw 50 times to beat this team,
he's gonna throw more.
I don't know how they can win if he's going to have to throw that many times.
Well, this is great for my under, because if Penix doesn't show up and put points on the board, maybe Michigan will take the air out of the ball.
They're going to take the air out of the ball, Rob. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball down their throats because they can.
That's what they do every play. Blake Corum goes up the middle 2 plays. Then maybe if they don't get anywhere close, they'll pass the ball. If not, they'll just put Donovan Edwards in. He'll run. They'll put Corum.
Is that number 11? Is that the guy that's got the 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Donovan Edwards?
Yeah, Donovan Edwards.
Well,
McCarthy's not a bad quarterback. He's the kind of guy. I don't think I've seen him throw for 300 yards at all, but he certainly has the ability to do it. He's not a bad college quarterback.
McCarthy's a system quarterback. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but they have a good system. He can succeed with their system.
I mean, put any quarterback in a Michigan offense.
They've had a lot of quarterbacks in the Michigan offense, and it hasn't worked the way it does with him. He runs the system better than anybody else they've had does. That's the thing. The problem that Washington has in this game, as I said it before the game, is physically they don't match up, and that's going to be a problem.
The defense doesn't match up against Michigan's offense.
Right. The Michigan's offensive line can push them around. Is going to push them around all night, and it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to completely sell out to stop the run. I mean, if they start completely selling out, McCarthy is good enough to throw. He's not, he's not a liability if he has to pass the ball. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's a Heisman Trophy quarterback, okay, but he's got enough ability to be able to throw the ball and complete passes. He showed that against Alabama in a big spot.
What was that, Chase? Sorry.
Like, go grab any quarterback in college football, put him on Michigan's offense. They'll put up more yards than McCarthy does every game. McCarthy's not.
My quarterback couldn't have done that. Wishmer on Rutgers, he couldn't have done that.
He might have.
Put
that offensive line in that run game. Roman Wilson's really good.
Put Talia Tagovailoa in there. He'll win Heisman. Sure of it.
Now, what is with this guy, Chase?
He's
going to transfer again?
No, his
6th, 7th year of eligibility?
He doesn't have another year, but he played 4 games 1 year, and then his brother got knocked out. He went in for 2 plays in like the final game of the season, final play, and tried to hit the guy that hit his brother. So he's trying to say, like that shouldn't count as a game. Can I have another year? Because then he would have been redshirted if he didn't play that. So he's trying to transfer to Miami.
Why? Why?
Why Miami, though?
To be near Tua. He wants to be near Tua.
Oh, okay.
Tua might not be on the Dolphins next year.
I think he will.
I don't know. Are they going to pay him? I mean, I know Doug always says he's not a Tua hater, but he's definitely not a guy that promotes Tua all the time. And I'm sure he's not.
Well, you're happy. In a tough spot.
I mean, Tua's nothing without Tyreek.
But like Tua.
Yeah, but in all fairness, he didn't have Waddle yesterday, and he didn't have what's his name, Mustafa.
Mostert, yeah.
Mostert. That's right. Yeah, Mostert. They didn't have him either last night. I mean, that in all fairness, I mean, Buffalo knows how to play that team too. Buffalo's played Miami enough that they know what the heck they're doing when it comes to their defense stopping Miami. I mean, they knew. They played them enough to know how to stop them. So I think that has something to do with it.
But Tyreek can perform without Tua. Tua can't perform without Tyreek.
I'll give you that.
Good point.
I'll give you that.
All right, let's run through these games, what we think is going to happen, and we'll give our breakdown of the entire playoffs, the little Super Bowl predictions as we go out the door here. Let's set it up for rivals coming up later on in the night here on A2D Radio. First, let's hear from our great sponsors at Royal Billiard.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
All right, there they are. Royal Billiards, America's premier, located 515 Bethlehem Pike in Colmar, PA. Turn any ordinary room into an extravagant gaming experience. They have, visit them at royalbilliards.com. All right, let's get into Super Wildcard Weekend here. Let's start with the Saturday 4:30 game. Houston hosting the Cleveland Browns. I think this is the biggest coin flip game of the weekend. I think C.J. Stroud gets it done.
Yeah.
Dude, they're home dogs. I mean, talk about a franchise that never seems to get it done in a big spot. The Browns are good, though. Flacco's playing well. But I don't know. I'm taking the kid, C.J. Stroud.
I can't see the Browns winning the playoff game. Their team has no playoff experience.
It's true.
The quarterback does.
Well, Flacco
has
does.
plenty.
Flacco does, but then I think Jerome Ford doesn't have any.
Yeah, but the quarterback is the one that you want to have the experience.
Yeah, but Cooper has a little. Elijah Moore has none. Who else do they have? David Njoku, he's got none.
Well, they got the number one defense in the whole league. That's their rallying cry. And they have a quarterback that has more playoff wins on the road than any other quarterback in the history of the NFL.
I think the Browns win the game. I do. I can't. Houston doesn't have anybody who's played in the playoffs either, for that matter. So I just don't. I don't see it. It was a nice win against Baltimore, but that was a horrible division. You know, that division is just as bad as the NFC South. You know, what they did was pretty impressive, but I mean, look who they did it against. I mean, you know, they Tampa Bay, Jacksonville pissed away that opportunity by losing to the Titans. And I mean, they were 8-3, and what, they finished 9-8.
Oh yeah, they
I don't want to hear anybody in Philadelphia pound the table for Doug Peterson anymore. Really?
That was just, I mean, unforgivable.
Terrible. I went to the Steelers-Jaguars game. They took a terrible towel, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, and since that they've been 1-6.
Is that right?
Or not one? I think 2-6.
They lost 5 of 6 down the stretch, just like the Eagles.
It was
the Eagles, however, were able to do better in the beginning part of the season when they were hot than Jacksonville. But so Doug Peterson's this great coach, this Philly legend, but he lost maybe the easiest division in NFL history to a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback in Houston, and rookie head coach and backup quarterback in Indianapolis. He finished 3rd. Wolf. I don't want to hear anything any more about Doug Peterson being the GOAT of anything anymore in Philadelphia. Guy's a stiff. He got super. Look, let's be real about it. The Eagles team last year was way better than the Eagles team that won the Super Bowl in 2017. The team that lost to the Patriots in 2004 with Terrell Owens was way better than the team that won the Super Bowl in 2017. The Eagles caught lightning in a bottle with Nick Foles, and he played out of his mind for 2 games, and the Eagles were able to somehow beat Tom Brady.
So what if that's Joe Flacco? What if that's
it could be. So. It could be. I don't know.
I mean, they don't have to. The thing is, they don't have to run.
I could see myself changing my mind on this game 5 times before Saturday afternoon.
They don't have to throw the ball 50 times. That's the thing. They run the football a lot, so that makes Flacco's job a lot easier.
Wow.
And I think it actually worked because they played a couple weeks ago when C.J. Stroud wasn't playing, and the Browns beat him pretty bad. I don't think D'Amico Ryans is going to let that happen again. I think he's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see that happening. I can't see them.
But you're also in the AFC South, which has been better. But you have the Colts, and then the Jaguars led by a horrible coach, a terribly overrated quarterback. He's probably the 3rd most overrated player in the NFL. Not really any receivers. No offensive line, no defense, none of that. And then you got the Colts.
So, Chase, you're going Browns, it sounds like.
No, I'm going Texans.
You're going Texans. And, Brad, you're going Browns.
I'm going Browns.
So I got to break the tie. Let me see what the over-under is. The line's 2.5. Let me see what the over-under is.
Oh, my God.
Missed them. I do win like $1,000 if the Browns win the Super Bowl somehow. So I'm going to go Browns, I think. I'm going to go Browns.
I can't see the Browns winning a road playoff game.
Well, I think they have the right team to play against.
Yeah, you want them to play. If you want to play a division winner in the playoffs, you want to play the Texans.
Or the Bucks, like the Eagles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
all
the
right,
Browns,
second game. Second game on Saturday, 8:15, exclusively on Peacock. The Miami Dolphins traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City's laying 3.5. I'm kind of all over the Chiefs here. It's going to be 8 degrees. It's going to be 8 degrees at kickoff in Kansas City.
The Dolphins are not going to win that game. There's no way.
No bueno for a team from South Florida. No. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid. It's still
Tyreek Hill.
It's still
Dolphins are winning that. The Dolphins are winning that by like 10+.
Double-digit win for the Dolphins from Chase.
34-17. Wow.
That would be shocking.
34-17. All right, let me write this down. I'll put a parlay in.
8 degrees with Kadarius Toney hands. Yep, that's true.
It's a good point.
Marquez Valdez.
Chase sold me, and Doug couldn't make it tonight, and he's a Dolphins fan, so let's go with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll fade the weather.
Okay.
You just have to look.
Yeah, but the Chiefs can't catch a pass. And
true, they can't line up either.
Yeah,
they do have Patrick Mahomes, and the Dolphins are banged up.
Well, now how many guys are going to be back? That's the question. For the Dolphins.
I think Waddle will be back.
Waddle's going to be back.
Okay, what about
Mostert's going to be back?
Okay, well, if they have Mostert, at least they can run the ball.
Well, they still have A-Chain. Runs like 6 yards a carry. That was also carried by.
It's going to be tough. Listen, what are they? Boy, I don't know. That's going to be tough. But all right, let's go with Miami.
Chase, what do you think the score of Houston and Cleveland's going to be?
24-17. Houston.
So you have Houston 24-17.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to put an exact score parlay in Pennsylvania based on we're going to put like $5 on it, Chase, and we're going to win like millions. Cut you in. Give you.
I'll take half.
Half? Whoa.
35%. Well, I
worse than an agent.
35%. Okay. You got it. All right, Chase. Front and center, Sunday afternoon, 1:00. Steelers going to Buffalo. 10-point line. Chase, I got to tell you, I don't think this is going to go well for your Steelers.
I still have to pick the Steelers, though. I just have to.
You're young. You gotta learn to bet with your head and not your heart. You're young though, so we'll give you.
No, if I was betting on the game, I'd pick Bills. Easy.
There you go.
Okay, so we get it. You're rooting for the Steelers.
So, yeah,
we get it.
If your life's on the line, you'd pick the Bills, but you hope the Steelers win.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, if my life's on the line and I pick the Bills, I hope the Steelers win.
That would be bad.
Because then I wouldn't be here.
It's just a saying, Chase. Don't take it literally. I forgot I'm dealing with a young man. Don't take it literally.
Yeah.
It's just a joke we use. If your life was on the line, who would you pick?
I think that the Bills are the favorites right now to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, Ravens aren't winning the Super Bowl. I can tell you that.
I agree with that.
I
don't trust Lamar at all.
I'll make all my friends mad. Watch them go in their comments. They'll say, the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl. What do you mean?
I agree with you. I think Buffalo's playing the best. I think Buffalo.
It's Buffalo.
Josh Allen.
It's Buffalo.
I got Buffalo 31-7.
I have
31.
20.
Sorry, Chase. Nothing personal.
28-24 Buffalo.
Okay.
I guess.
I'll tell you what, if the Steelers can hang in there and put up a fight like that, good for them. I'm just thinking without Watt, it's going to be really, really hard for them.
I mean, when you have it's the MVP versus the Bills, so.
Yeah, I mean, Watt is so good, and he's.
Are people in Pittsburgh like that behind Mason Rudolph right now, Chase?
Oh yeah, Mason Rudolph's amazing. I mean, okay. I don't even know what he is. So we've seen him how bad he's been in the past.
But he won't have any pressure. He'll have no pressure though, because nobody expects them to win.
I mean, yeah.
But I'm more worried. I'm more worried about Pittsburgh's defense without Watt. That's what I'm worried about. Or if he plays, how effective can he be?
Well, I say Bills go on. And then they'll beat the Dolphins, and then they'll humble the Ravens, beat them by like 30.
Yeah, you don't like the Ravens. The Ravens are your Cowboys.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's one of the fiercest rivalries in the whole league.
That's friend, good Ravens. Yeah. But I mean, I'd say like 31-14 Bills over the Ravens. Bills go to the Super Bowl.
Now I got to cross out. What'd you say? 31-14.
31-14.
Okay, I like that. I'll be rich if that happens. I think the Steelers are going to put up more of a fight than the Packers on Sunday afternoon.
The Packers are going to lose by 50.
Green Bay getting 7.5 against Dallas.
Not nearly
Dallas.
38-14 Dallas.
52-19.
What'd you say, Brad? We'll use Brad's for this one.
38-14 Dallas.
I
don't think they'll run up. Mike McCarthy will not run up the score that much on Pittsburgh on the Packers. He won't do that.
He got his old team.
Yeah,
they're gonna put up like 42 at halftime, and they're gonna put their backups in. They'll still win. They'll still put up like 13.
I just don't think he'll run up the score like that on the Packers because he coached there for a while.
I mean, yeah, but.
All right, then we got Saturday night, Don 19's Lions hosting the Rams.
Stafford.
I don't trust the Lions at all. Like at all. I like the Rams here.
I like
Chase.
I like Lions. I'd say 30-24. They're gonna win, and then they're gonna be all excited, and then they're gonna lose by 50 to the Cowboys. So
I mean. It's not a bad take. All right, the main event, Eagles at Tampa. Eagles a 3-point favorite. 28-10 Eagles, I think it's going to be. I think they win. I think they win convincingly. And I think momentum's a funny thing in this league. And we'll see what happens if they have to go out to San Fran or go out to Dallas. We'll see what happens. I
think they would go out to San Fran.
Well, if the Rams win, then they play Dallas. Or no, it doesn't matter. I don't know. They got to play the San Fran plays the lowest seed left.
Yeah.
So if the Lions win, then they'll go out.
The Lions win, Eagles go.
That would make my 2024 chase if the Eagles went out to San Francisco and kicked their ass. That would be just absolutely fantastic to me.
But I don't think that would happen.
I have a funny feeling that the Rams are going to beat Detroit, and then they're going to go to San Francisco, and they're going to beat the 49ers.
Well, that's Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs for you.
And I also think that the Eagles will win, and then they're going to go to Dallas, and they're going to get destroyed by Dallas.
The Eagles will get destroyed by Dallas?
Yes. I think they will.
Unfortunately, I think that's a good take.
I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, for the Eagles to beat Tampa, and I could see what's going to happen. The Eagles will beat Tampa, everybody's going to be back on the train again.
Yeah,
they're going to be expecting all kinds of miracles. They're going to be talking Super Bowl again, and then they're going to have to run into that Cowboy buzzsaw in Dallas, and we know how good they are at home, and they're going to get annihilated because the problem is Dallas hates them as much as they hate Dallas. So that's going to be a problem. But I do think I see Dallas and the Rams. Dallas beats them and goes to the Super Bowl and loses to Buffalo. That's kind of how I look at it. That's where I go. But I have a feeling I think the Rams are going to be the team that sneaks in and
does some damage.
Yep, I think they're going to be the Cinderella team, and they're going to knock out.
No one talks about the Rams running game. That guy Kyren Williams.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He missed 4 games and finished second in rushing. Or he was second in rushing going into the last game. I don't know if people overtook him because he sat out because he didn't need to play.
Well, here's the thing. They have such a good offense. Try to name 3 defensive players on the Rams other than Aaron Donald.
I can't. I don't think I can do
anymore.
It's a good point.
Most of them left.
It's Aaron Donald and I don't know.
If Sam Laporta can't play, Chase, like that's a huge problem.
Yeah, Sam Laporta.
Did he tear his ACL? I didn't see an injury update on him. Did he tear his ACL?
Well, it looked really bad.
It did look bad. What do we got for a score, Brad, for the Eagles-Bucks?
14-10 Eagles. Whoa. No, 13-10 Eagles.
Whoa.
I think watching this game is going to be like watching paint dry.
Ravens. Steelers also watching paint dry.
Chase, what do you think for a score?
I'm going to say 23-19.
23-19. That could be good odds on that score. All right, Chase, who you got in the Super Bowl? Well, let's remind Chase had some pretty good hot takes in the
Jaguars
beginning of the season when we had it. Jaguars overrated.
Terrible. Not
spot on that one.
He was right on the money with the Jets.
Jets, yeah, being terrible.
Yep.
And then we're not even going to hold the Bengals Super Bowl pick against you because that's not your fault.
That's not. No, you can't blame him for Burrow.
No, Joe Burrow got hurt.
Well, and then AFC North best division in the NFL.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you had that one. Everyone was over 500.
Yeah, everybody. That's the first time.
Hey, I also picked the Ravens to win that
since
division.
1935 that's happened.
Is that right?
In 1935, it was like 2 teams per division.
So it wasn't that hard. All right, Chase. Super Bowl redo. Who you got?
Bills over 49ers.
Brad?
Bills over the Cowboys.
Oh. I'm dropping the bomb. Eagles over Bills. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go. I think they're playing possum. They're going to get together at the right time, and let's go.
There's a word I want to say right now. Delusional.
Don't say a bad word.
Delusional.
Yeah. Okay.
I am delusional. No. Well, I was going to say Bills Cowboys, but Brad stole it. So
sorry.
It's going to be Bills. I think it's going to be Bills Cowboys, especially if the Rams knock off the Niners.
Rob, listen. This is just a hunch. Okay, I'm probably going to look like a complete moron come the Super Bowl when the Rams are knocked out in the first round and the 49ers end up in the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to pick the 49ers and Ravens because everybody's going to pick that. You don't have to be.
Yeah,
you don't have to be
seeds.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to be a freaking genius.
And Ravens aren't as good as people are saying.
Oh, they're good.
They're good.
Yeah, they're good, but okay, they can be beaten.
Lamar Jackson's not leading a team to the Super Bowl. He can't.
I tend to agree with Chase.
Yeah, I don't think he will either. That's why I got
Lamar Jackson's not a player that can lead his team to a Super Bowl.
I don't listen. Josh Allen can throw 2 interceptions every game, and they'll still win because you know what? He'll still end up throwing 3 or 4 touchdown passes and run for a touchdown because that's just what he does.
Well, yeah, and people
him.
And people are saying, "Oh, Lamar is the best player in the NFL." He's like 14th in passing yards.
Yeah, but it's he's controlled that offense, and that offense has scored a lot of points.
Yeah, the offense has scored a lot of points.
Yeah, well, that's a huge part of it. And they run the ball a lot. They also got Odell Beckham. Don't forget that. And but the receivers have really stepped up this year. Even without
it's the best receivers he's ever had.
Yeah, best receivers he ever had. But that's not a high bar because you've seen the Ravens receivers the past couple of years.
Well, other than Andrews, they had none. They had what's his name, Hollywood, but
James Prochet.
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson.
They've been not good.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, Mr. Injury.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean,
all right. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here? Rivals coming up next, right here on A2D Radio.
The Ravens aren't winning the Super Bowl. Definitely not biased, but they're not.
Brad.
And the Rams are going to knock out the 49ers.
Okay.
That's my.
And then the Eagles. So what if it's Rams, Eagles, and Philly to go to the Super Bowl?
That'd
be something.
Happening. That's not happening.
Chase, come on, man.
You never know until they play.
Come on, man.
They've been playing so bad.
I know. I've been watching. I've noticed.
Yeah,
got it.
They've been incredibly bad.
If you lose like 5, what is it? 5. They've lost 4 of their last 5.
5 or 6.
Oh, 5 and 6.
5 and 6, and most of the games
they're 10. Yeah, 5 of 6. So
the only win is Christmas at home against the Giants, and they almost lost that one.
Yeah.
And the officiating, the Giants could have had the ball on the 1-yard line at the end of the game with one play, because they could have definitely called pass interference on that throw in the end zone.
Oh well, they didn't.
Nope.
Eagles are an absolute lock on Monday night. Money line spread.
I wouldn't quite go there.
I'm saying it. I don't know what's going to happen with this football team past Monday night, but they're going to win Monday night.
If the Eagles lose, I'm screen recording that.
I think if they lose, Sirianni might.
I think significant changes.
If they
I could see Bill maybe going there.
If they lose to the Buccaneers, Philadelphia fans will cause a riot.
They will go ballistic. You're right about that.
They won't be happy. They won't be happy at all. But they're going to win. The Eagles are going to win on Monday. I stake my entire reputation on it.
How much?
Reputation on it.
How much would you put on that?
I don't know. We'll see how many drinks I have.
You know something? You get, if you bet the Eagles now to win the Super Bowl, you get very good odds.
10,000.
I bet them every week they've lost on this losing streak. I've just doubled down. I wonder what their odds are right now. I'll double down again.
Probably like plus 2,000 or something. Eagles aren't hot at all.
They're not going to be the
No, they're not. No, they're not, Chase. They are the opposite of hot.
They're not ready for the playoffs. I don't see them winning the Super Bowl.
Thing is, Tampa Bay, 9-0 against the Panthers. They couldn't.
Yeah, Rob, don't bet with your heart. Like you said to me earlier.
Yeah.
Go get him, Chase. Good one. Good job.
That wasn't me. That was Kalen.
I love this kid.
Nah. 16-1. 16-1. That's not even long enough. That's not enough.
Got to be 20-1.
16-1. That's not enough juice for me to get involved. So I did it after I bet on them. I think it was after the Cardinals game. I bet on them.
Wonder what odds you get on the Bills and the Rams.
Bills and the Rams. I have it right here. Name the finalist.
Said Sam Laporta is an outside to play.
75-1, Brad.
For the Rams?
No, for the Bills.
For Rams versus Bills Super Bowl. Both would have to have it's like a parlay.
That's not horrible.
Listen, the Rams have won every game they. What is they 6-1 in their last 7? The only game they lost was a punt return in overtime at Baltimore. They had that game. They had that game won.
Yeah, but the biggest frauds in the NFL had to.
Well,
they
blew that game, but they.
I'm saying the Rams are frauds. They're not good. They're not a good football team.
But they're red hot right now.
Yeah, they're hot because who have they played in their last 6?
25 to win $2,000, Brad.
Whoa.
Who have the Rams beat?
The 49ers.
They're backups.
It's the Rams backups too to be.
Oh yeah, it's backups.
Carson Wentz was the quarterback.
It's a preseason game. They beat the. Okay, so
he's got a point. He's not wrong.
They beat the Seahawks by 1. Beat the Cardinals. Beat the Browns. Lost to the Ravens.
Browns is a good win.
Beat the Commanders by 8. Beat the Saints by 8. Beat the Giants by 1 and won a preseason game.
Should have lost to the Giants actually.
Yeah,
but they're finding ways to win.
Okay, so then I think the Steelers then are Super Bowl contenders.
I couldn't help myself. I put $25 on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl right now. Close the show.
Rob.
I have serious issues. What can I say? What can I say?
How much did you bet?
$25.
That's down the drain.
16-1 though.
So how much?
Well, I'm plus monies because I had Christian McCaffrey as the rushing champion, and I won $900 on that.
Oh, geez. Okay, there you go. See,
he was like the 15th. He was like the 15th favorite.
That's a great bet. Good job.
How's that a 15th favorite?
It was mind-boggling, Chase. Look at the odds. Look at the odds before the season.
Mind-boggling.
Bets.
Mind-boggling
like
is
you find steals.
Mind-boggling is you saying that Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
We're going.
See, and I didn't say it. I
know you didn't have to. It's all right, Chase. I know I have problems. It's cool. That's why, we all call each other on our issues, and it's fine. Just like you're not Chase. You're not a little harsh on the Ravens because you hate them.
I think it might be a little.
I think you're harsh on the Ravens because you hate them. They're pretty good.
But he's a Steelers
I don't trust
fan.
Lamar. I agree with.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but I don't trust. I don't trust Lamar. I agree with him.
I don't trust Lamar either.
Yeah, I don't trust
think
him.
He's being a little harsh on the Ravens.
If someone says Lamar, go win me a Super Bowl, and they say bet me $1 billion, I will take that 100 times out of 100.
Well, here's the thing with Buffalo against the Ravens: if those two teams play and the weather's bad, whose arm are you going to trust in a bad wind, Allen or Lamar?
Allen.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar. Allen over Lamar. Yeah.
Lamar's just going to scramble out of the pocket and run out of bounds every play.
Yeah, but Allen will whip the ball right through the wind and find his receivers because.
Yeah, but Lamar is going to run out of the pocket every single play. He's going to throw a little screen pass to Justice Hill for 5 yards. Then they're going to hand it off 5 plays. Then he's going to run it again. Then he's going to scramble out of the pocket, run for 2 yards, going to get out of bounds.
By the way, did you guys see that one pass that he made when he was falling backwards and he threw one last night? I think he threw one like 40 yards down the field and it was a completion on a bomb.
Allen? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. He
has a gifted arm, and he's a tremendous athlete. He just
you know what
they're lucky they won that game last night with those 3 red zone turnovers.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but he's the only quarterback in the league that can do that and still win.
Yeah, he finds a way to win.
He does. He does.
Well, we'll see if he can do it in the playoffs. All right, we got to get out of here. Rivals coming up next. Chase Robbins, Brad Ryer. I'm Rob Brinkman. Next Monday, Eagles, Bucks, pregame show. Till then, peace out, everybody.